Rainier Avenue Radio.
Has your small business experienced property damage? Apply for the Storefront Repair Fund to receive a $2,000 grant to help cover storefront repair costs. The Seattle Office of Economic Development is investing nearly $2 million to help businesses recover from the economic impacts caused by damages to their storefronts. Grants will help cover costs such as broken windows, broken doors, broken locks, and etching on windows. Applications will remain open until all funding is awarded. Application assistance is available in multiple languages at 206-684-8090. For more information and to apply for the Storefront Repair Fund, go to seattle.gov/economic development.
Mga kaibigan, ito po si Kuya Bert Kawili.
And this is Miles Salvador from Australia.
And I'm Norb Kawili, also known as Norbcam.
Kung gusto niyo po ang latest news and events from the Philippines at yung local Filipino community, Phil-Am Radio po.
We play Filipino music and interview guests from all around the world.
And I'll keep you updated on the latest Seahawks and sports news.
Kaya always tune in Phil-Am Radio every Tuesday, 1 to 2:30 p.m. Pacific Time on Rainier Avenue Radio App.
And in YouTube and Facebook. Salamat po.
This is your Rainier Avenue Radio World community update on the new City of Seattle Community Resource Hub, a one-stop online shop for city resources and information. Supported by the Seattle Department of Neighborhoods, the Community Resource Hub can be found at seattle.gov/resource hub. It's an online portal of city resources, information, and tools to help community members connect and engage with city government and with each other. That is seattle.gov/resource hub.
Welcome to the Fitness Corner. I'm your host, Mark Bryant, and you're going to get a whole total body workout on my show, starting off with a warm-up, aerobics, strength training, cool down, and stretching every Friday from 11:30 to 12 right here on Rainier Avenue Radio.
Dealing with COVID-19 is uncharted territory, and everyone has different challenges. People may feel anxious, down, or overwhelmed. For some, these feelings can lead to changes in sleep patterns, an increased use of alcohol or drugs, or withdrawing from the people around them. If you know someone who's having a hard time coping, you can help by reaching out to talk and listen. To learn more about how you can help someone in need, call the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 800-273-TALK. Brought to you by the state of Washington.
You know you can't get enough of Rainier Avenue Radio World.
Every time you play so smooth, makes me wanna groove, but trees let's groove.
Good afternoon. It's Friday, and welcome to Seniors Matter. I'm your host, Brenda Charles Edwards, and we are live every Friday at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on www.rainieravenueradio.world, your community radio station. You can also listen to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch TV, Twitter, and of course on the Rainier Avenue Radio app. It is Friday, guys. We feature interviews with people that provide services or have valuable information for seniors, their families, and the community. Do you need financial documents notarized? Are you a senior that needs documents read to you for clarity or completion? Call me, Brenda, at Black Orchid Notary, 206-683-2636. Tell me where, I'll meet you there. Today, my guest is Michelle Lang-Raymond, co-founder of Acts on Stage, which is a nonprofit theater organization with a dedicated mission to changing lives dramatically through the production of performances that elevate. Welcome to the show, Michelle. How are you? I'm not hearing you. Do you hear me? No, I can read lips sort of. I hear a little bit, but I don't hear you full blast. I hear it coming. Oh, I thought it did. Now you're muted. Okay. Okay. I don't know what for a minute there I thought we had you a little louder, but then something happened. Were you unplugging something? I don't think it's on our end, is it? Nope, it's not on our end. So I hear noise. Well, anyway, let me just tell you a little bit about Michelle, and then she can tell you more. But her and Isaiah Anderson Jr., as many of you know, started acts on stage, and they've been so involved in the community. And I really want her to tell you about why they started the production company. Are you there, Michelle?
I hope so.
Hey, there she is. Yay.
Yay!
We did it.
Wait, sorry about that.
That's okay. So, Michelle, tell my audience a little bit about yourself, please.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for letting me come to your show. This is awesome. This is just my second time seeing Seniors Matter, so it's really cool to be a part of what you're doing. But Acts on Stage, you're right. Acts on Stage started in July of 2020, right in the beginning middle of the pandemic, because like a lot of people, we thought the pandemic was going to be something quick and less painless than it was.
Right.
And we thought now's as good a time as any to get going. And there were days where it felt like, wow, maybe this was a mistake. But the more we stuck to it, the more we thought, you know what, this was the perfect time for us to start in a time and a space where there was less noise. We actually started to begin telling story and being creative content makers in a different kind of way. And so we started on a mission to center the voices, talents, works, and initiatives of people of color and creatives of faith. Isaiah and I are both of those things. And we wanted to have a theater house that leveraged leveraged itself for both of those demographics.
And that is wonderful.
Thank you.
Now, Michelle, our youth, they're struggling. And I I work at a local high school, and I know your husband. Because actually he's the reason I knew about you. But
yeah.
But before I go with that, Michelle, you're a singer too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I think you and I met many years ago when I was involved with Festival Sundiata.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we did then. Me and my band Stillwater, Michelle Lang and Stillwater, we probably did.
Yes.
Yeah, we probably did Festival Sundiata no less than 12 times.
Oh, yes, right. Absolutely. Because I was involved, once I was on the board, and then I was involved with the marketplace and getting vendors and all that.
Okay.
So, yes, I know. And because I said, I know her.
Yeah.
But I didn't know who your husband was until, and by the way, congratulations.
Thank you. I was going to say, you wouldn't know my husband.
Because he wasn't there then.
Right. He didn't exist, right? Not in that way. So,
right.
Yeah.
No, I hear you.
You know what's interesting about Jay Raymond is that you read our tagline, on a mission to change lives dramatically. Mm-hmm. He actually is the one that came up with that tagline. And I don't even know if he did it on purpose or not, but he, as he does, and I love him for it, he was talking to other people about what we were doing with Acts on Stage. Like, this is 3 years ago now. He was talking to his family and friends about this vision I had for Acts on Stage. And in a message he sent some people, he said, I'm sure that they are going to change lives dramatically. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is the best tagline I've ever heard. And it's 100% true. Right. We don't just want to change lives. We want to change lives dramatically using the performing arts. One of our high values is that we believe the arts are a divine gift from God. Mm-hmm. And we mean that, like, we don't mean like in a kind of warm and fuzzy way. We really believe that the arts help us process life and meaning in a way that other things just don't do. And whether that be stage arts or recreational arts or the creative arts, it doesn't matter. There's something about when we allow ourselves to invest in our creative being and our creativity, that our lives are changed, our minds are shifted. And so we really thought, you know what, we want to change lives dramatically using the arts, and we want to change lives in a way that that is transformative. And so yeah, back to Jay. Jay is the one that actually came up with that slogan. But as soon as he said it, I was like, that can't be any more dead on to what we're doing.
Right. And music is used with patients dealing with dementia.
Yeah.
And a number of senior centers have programs called Momentia that they use music, and it's amazing how people, I guess it brings back flashbacks of a time in their life when they were happy, they were dancing or singing, and it's just amazing. And it's like, it affects everyone.
Yeah. And there was a time in my mom's life when she was a bit older that so she was just wrestling with some things in life, and she sought out therapy. And one of the activities they had her do in therapy was paint, just paint things. And even she wasn't a painter, but they utilized the arts to help her process and to help her settle and to help her. At a certain age, you've lived a lot of life. And so that's a lot of life to unpack. Right. And so, sometimes I think, your thoughts can be going so fast that you can't catch them. Right. And so when she was in therapy, they would have her paint and they would have her draw as a way to just calm her and allow her to talk about, what her thoughts were in a different kind of way, using a different kind of medium. So yeah, even in our health, not just our entertainment, but even as it relates to our health, the arts are advantageous for us.
So you have a program called Renaissance 20 that I know it's directed toward youth, and there's an age range. And what I'm seeing is that a lot of our youth, especially our girls, quote unquote, the hormones are raging. They have nowhere to direct that energy. I mean, we know there are places, but I'm thinking, can you expound on Renaissance 20? Because it seems to me that that's the creative outlet that more young folks need to know about.
Yeah. And honestly, Renaissance 20 is not just for young people. It's for people who are young in their gift. So you could be 50 or 60 and never have really leaned into your artistic, personality. Right. And so if you say, I really think I'm a songwriter, or I really think I'm a singer, or I really think I'm a dancer, that's great. But then what we do is we come alongside that part of you. We come alongside you and add development to it. And you can start that development at any age. We might need to look at how we wrote it up, because what we mean is people who are just young in the development of their gift, their artistic gift, not necessarily of a certain age. And so what we try to do is wrap around and help you develop that gift, help you develop that passion. And then after you kind of have gone through the journey for a little bit, gone through the process for a little bit, we help you actually create a show that is sort of the showcase of your development, of your process, which honestly, the show that we're doing right now, the show that opens tonight, that talk you do with Tia Nashe, that is kind of a Renaissance 20 program, birthing, because what Tia has been a spoken word artist and a poet for decades. And she came to us and said, I really think I want to turn my work into a full-on show. And so we took Tia through almost a 2-month process to help her turn her work into a show. And that's the show that the community is going to get to see for the next 2 weeks.
Oh, and now where is that located?
It's here at our theater. Acts on Stage is not just an idea. Acts on Stage is a place. We have a theater in White Center. It's on 12th Avenue Southwest in White Center, just on the backside of Burien, on the backside of West Seattle.
Right. I know where White Center is. What's the cross street?
12th and 108th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not too far from Burien, not too far from West Seattle neighborhoods. White Center is kind of unincorporated King County, so sometimes people feel like it's a little hard to get to. But once you know where we are,
it's not that hard.
It's not that hard. And I keep looking out the window because we're having our parking lot paved right now, or reset. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we want our guests to come and to be able to experience parking without, falling into potholes. So we are a real theater.
Oh, that's great.
Over in White Center, yes. And you can find the address on our website at axonstage.com.
And what time's the play start tonight?
Yeah, the show starts tonight at 7 p.m. We have matinee shows on Saturdays, so a 3 o'clock tomorrow and a 7 o'clock tomorrow. And then we have a 3 o'clock matinee on Sunday. And that's this weekend and next weekend.
All right, that's good to know.
Yeah, it would be great. Tia is doing an incredible show. She's chronicling her life. And so there's like homages to Blackness, to womanhood, to faith, to Seattle, to spirituality, to coming of age, just all that. Tia just turned 40. And I know maybe for some of your viewers, 40 might still be like, she's just a kid, but but she just turned 40. And instead of like going on a cruise or buying something else, Tia wanted to do this kind of bucket list thing. And she really wanted to turn her work into a show. And so rather than just accumulate more stuff, she wanted to have this experience. And, she just happens to be so talented that we were like, this experience needs to be a show, not just, there you go, not just an idea, not just a workshop. It needs to be a show. So the name of the show is That Talk You Do, starring Tia Nashay. It starts tonight and it goes for 2 weekends.
So, and just a little side note, and that probably will only, I won't say appeal, but anybody that's in the school system, she is a former principal too.
Yep. Yeah, she was a longtime teacher, principal in the Seattle Public Schools, and she just stepped down from that to do something with King County just like a year ago, like during the pandemic, like less than a year ago, she changed course. And so, yeah, she has deep roots at Washington Middle School, I believe, and Garfield High School. She's a graduate of Franklin High School. So, yeah, and she actually mentions those things in her work in the show tonight. So it'll be fun to see that. I really hope teachers come out. And I just want to say this really quick, Miss Brenda. I think what Tia is doing is really important for people to see, because even if you have been working a career for a long time, or you kind of had a career in one area, it's never too late to say, I want to try something else. I want to do something else. I've always had a passion for or a yearning for, and I want to try something else. And I think what Tia is doing is modeling, taking a risk on yourself, taking a bet on yourself, and then doing the work to see it through. And so I really hope your listeners come, and I really hope Seattle Public School people come and see Tia model this for us.
I think that's absolutely spot on. And you're right. You're never too old to do anything that you really want to do. Just have the faith to do it.
That's right. And it doesn't matter how long you've been thinking about it or how long. It doesn't matter if you waited. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If you're ready to put in the work to do it, the effort to do it, then it still has merit and it still deserves your time and your attention.
Absolutely.
And it's not going to stop bothering you until you try.
Right. That's true. If you're just tuning in, you're listening live to Seniors Matter with your host, Brenda Charles Edwards, on www.rainieravenueradio.world. You know what's the best legacy we can give ourselves and our loved ones? Join me on Zoom for a group or individual session on legacy end-of-life planning. My next session will be next Friday, November 11th at 2 p.m. Please email Jasmine at jasmint@aarth.org for registration information. That'll be next Friday, November 11th at 2 p.m. Now back to my guest, Miss Michelle Lang-Raymond. She's the co-founder of Acts on Stage, where they are focused on increasing access and opportunity to artists of color and activists of faith. Yes. I love that. Thank you. So are you and Isaiah going to be producing the Teen Summer Musical next year? Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. You know, what happened is the Teen Summer Musical is typically a program of Seattle Parks and Rec. And during the pandemic, in 2020, nobody could do anything. We couldn't, the pandemic was just too consuming, right? And we hadn't risen above it yet, so we couldn't do anything. But in 2021, we went to the city, we went to Seattle Parks and Rec and said, hey, are you going to be
producing the Teen Summer Musical. And they said no, because in 2021, the pandemic was still, it was still a thing. And so they said no. And because we were a smaller theater, we had our own place in our own building, and we were kind of two people. Isaiah is the longstanding director of Teen Summer Musical, and I had been with the program over 12 years. We went to the city and said, well, we can do it. And they gave us permission to do it. So in 2021, for the first year, a different entity besides the city managed Teen Summer Musical, and that was Acts on Stage Theater, because we were right and we were ready. We were ready to receive it. We were ready to take it. We said, we can do it. And so we presented for the first time 13 shows in different parks all around the city. So for the first time, it wasn't an indoor show. We had to do it outdoors because of the pandemic.
Right.
But again, it was history. It was history making, because it was the first time we had ever done Teen Summer Musical outside. It was the first time we'd ever done Teen Summer Musical, 13 shows. And it was incredible. It was amazing. And then this next year, again, the pandemic was still looming just a bit. And so the city wasn't quite ready to take it back on. And so we said, we'll do it again. But this time we did get to do it indoors. We got to do it back at the historic Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute.
Right.
And it was amazing. We did it for 10 shows, and it was incredible. And so we believe all signs lead to that we'll be managing it going into the future and beyond.
I love it. I love it. I've
seen an incredible program. It's an incredible program.
And I've seen the performances before, and it's just the kids are phenomenal.
They are. And I think when I'm a little older as you are, and as some of your listeners are, I think when we go see it and we see these kids like doing this incredible stuff, one, it's just high quality. It's high quality, it's high energy. And I think we look at them and we just feel like we did something good and we did something right to create this space where they can have this.
Right.
And I think it also makes us feel like the future, there's a bright future that we have created for our kids and for our city. And I think the Teen Summer Musical just makes us all feel like we did something right.
Well, you did, because you instill positive reinforcement that they can do whatever they want to do. They're important. They are somebody.
Yep. Yeah.
So, yeah. And then they can go on with it if they choose.
Yes.
That's the beautiful thing about it. They have something to put their hands on and go, this is tangible. I can do this, and I can go. Many doors will be open for me.
Yes.
So
100%. It's 100% true. We have so many kids who come in. Not every kid wants to be an engineer or a teacher or whatever. Some kids are like, I really feel like a creative. I feel like I'm an artist. And a lot of times, especially in the Black community, a lot of times when kids are artists, and they know that young, a lot of times we kind of try to, tell them they play too much, or to hush and go sit down somewhere, or, that don't make no money. And what we're doing is we're squelching this passion, right, that those kids have. And hopefully Teen Summer Musical is the answer to that. We're like, listen, this is a place where you can stretch and extend those artistic muscles, and do it in a way that you can see a career out of it. You can see a future from it.
I love that. So what is that'smyplaycousin.com?
Yeah, That's My Play Cousin is one of our programs. We haven't been able to launch it yet. It's kind of ironic. It probably should have been the first program we launched during the pandemic, but we just got so busy. But That's My Play Cousin. We know that there are innumerable writers in communities of color and in communities of faith. And a lot of times what happens is you'll have people who have written plays that nobody's ever seen. They've written books that nobody's ever seen. They've written skits that nobody's ever seen, but they're really good. And so That's My Play Cousin will be a website where those people can actually put their stuff up and have it resourced out. And so our intention, our hope is that that'll be a resource for people when they think, I want to play about, kids in the playground sharing, right? They can come to that'smyplaycousin.com and search through our library, and they'll see some scripts. When I first started writing theater plays, it was because I couldn't find plays for my kids that at a youth group. My youth group was mostly African American kids. It was a Christian youth group. And so I wanted them to have plays to act out. And I couldn't find anything that was relevant to, my demographic of kids that wasn't also corny or based in trauma, right? I was like, I need to find something that, that doesn't ring those two bells over and over. And I couldn't find anything. So I just started writing. And when it was all said and done, I probably had written 20 plays or skits. And they've all been acted out. But if anybody asks me, where can I get your play or your script? I've never put my stuff up on a website or anything like that. So that somebody in North Carolina or Massachusetts could also get that script and utilize it. And so that's my playcousin.com will be a website where writers of color and writers of faith can resource their work.
That's great.
Thank you.
So what are faith forums?
Yeah, faith forums, again, we haven't been able to launch that because the pandemic, but faith forums would be our twice a year large events where we bring in a noted actor or artist of any kind, whether it be an actor, dancer, it doesn't matter. We bring in a noted artist who also may be a person of faith, and they just talk about why these things are important. And then we attach a workshop to that so that people who came to the event can then also get to spend some time with that noted professional and get the benefit of their years of experience. So Faith Forum is sort of a two-day big event.
That's great. Wow, you're doing so much. I
We're
mean,
trying.
It's wonderful, and that's one of the reasons when I talked to Jay Raymond, and he mentioned you, and I said, "What?" I said, "Oh well, let me find out more about her because she needs to be promoted. I'm sure you have other means of being promoted, but I just think that this show, even though it's called Seniors Matter, it isn't." And I tell people it's Seniors Matter with an exclamation mark. Okay, that's like Black Lives Matter, Seniors Matter, everybody matters, the community matters. We all work together. And so the more people know that there's outlets out there like Acts on Stage, the better. And that's why I'm concerned about our kids too, because they need an outlet. And I know there's other outlets, but they need outlets that, like you said, everyone's not going to go to college. Everyone's, blue collar is fine. It pays the bills.
Yeah.
And so,
and it's rewarding work.
Absolutely.
If that's what you love to do, that's a rewarding work for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And you're right. And we want, and let me just touch back. You're right. Even if I'm out on the corner yelling about Acts on Stage all day, we still need people like you, who have your own constituency to know what we're doing, and to share it with your folks, because they might not be attached to me yet. But I want to be able to call Miss Brenda and say, Miss Brenda, can we tell your people about this new workshop we're doing? Can we tell your people about this new show we're doing? We did, a couple months ago, we did 2 Trains Running, August Wilson's 2 Trains Running. And it was incredible. It was amazing. We had full house. I want to say we had 10 shows. I want to say we sold out 8 of those shows.
Nice.
And a lot of the people who came to those shows or people of a certain age. And I think it's because, August Wilson is a legendary writer, playwright. And if you know him, you know the era from which he writes, and it's not enough for me to get out there, tell people that we're doing that. We need connections and people like you to help us do that. So yes, seniors matter and senior matters matter. So yes, we want to be connected to you.
Well, we will, because there's something else coming up that I want to talk to you about. Ed Jackson, this is very informative. I'm glad you tuned in also. That's my supporter.
Hey, Mr. Edward. Thank you for tuning in.
So
can I just tell your listeners, if they want to find out anything about who we are, they can go to actsonstage.com. I think I already saw you put it on the screen, but just in case, they can go to actsonstage.com. And if they want to come to the show, I would love for them to come. If they want to come and they want to shoot me a message, we ain't came up with a senior discount yet, but I'll make one up.
What time is the matinee?
3:00.
3:00. Okay.
Yep.
So thank you to my listening audience. Thank you to Michelle. It's so good to see you again. And it's like, I knew when I heard the name, I said, I met her. We never really connected, became friends, but we're going to be. And I want to encourage my audience to please go to the show. My husband doesn't know it yet, but we are going this weekend. We're probably going to the matinee.
Nice.
And, special thank you to singer Patrice Isley for letting me use her music. Once again, I'm going to do a Zoom workshop. Please be there or be square. You can call AARTH, which is ARTH, for more information. Be safe. Have a great weekend. Live your life like it's golden. Bye, everyone.